Welcome everyone to the NoDQ.com predictions video for WWE Evolution 2025, the second all-women's Evolution Premium Live event. We will also be giving our thoughts, just for the hell of it, on Saturday night's main event, which is this Saturday. It is a very busy weekend for wrestling. We have AEW All In on Saturday. I did my predictions Wednesday night. Check out that stream. We also have NXT Great American Bash. Then we have Saturday night's main event, Saturday night. And then Sunday we have Evolution. So before we get into the predictions, I will go around and introduce everybody and get everyone's overall thoughts on both shows. Saturday night's main event as well as Evolution. Big G is always happy to be here. G, how excited are you on a scale of 1 to 10 for both of these shows? Go ahead.
For both of these shows combined, I'm going to go a 7 out of 10. Maybe 8 out of 10. You know, Saturday night's main event, we got the big match between Goldberg and Gunther. And then obviously on Sunday, we have the all-women's pay-per-view Evolution. So 8 out of 10 for me for both shows.
I wonder who you're picking for that women's championship match.
I don't know, man. It's hard.
All right, well, let's throw it over now to Matthew. Matthew, welcome back to the predictions. Let's get your thoughts on both of these shows real quick.
I mean, I've said it a couple times. I wish Evolution 2 had more build. I wish it was on a night by, well, I mean, it is on a night by itself, but on a week by itself where it actually had proper growth. But overall, I'm excited. I want to see, because of the fact that it has been getting so little buzz, I want to see the women end up putting on the best show of the entire weekend. I mean, it's going to be a tough sell, but I think I want them to shine and put a lot of doubters, hey, you should have checked this pay-per-view out. And as for Saturday night main event, I mean, it's really a one-card show, and I just want to see, are they going to do it or are they not? Is Goldberg going to walk out his last match as champion, or will Gunther destroy him like I hope he will? Which, okay, maybe that gives away my spoiler, but overall, yeah, I'm like Big G. I'm about an 8 out of 10 for both shows together.
Sounds good. Shout out to everybody in the chat room. No women on the panel because I have an open invitation for Caitlin, my wife. She's always welcome to be on. If anybody else wants to be on, we always are open to having anybody that wants to be on. Give them a shot. But thank you to everybody that is on the panel tonight. And shout out to Michael Wayne and Big G's in the chat room. Thank you, G, for moderating. Oof, I'll throw it over to you now. Your thoughts on this show, or both shows, I should say.
Well, I echo Matthew's words. Saturday Night Main Event is just really one match. And unfortunately, I did a cheap plug on my channel there. I did a video on this weekend on my Oofman Entertainment channel where I feel bad for the women. I feel that WWE in their pettiness is using the women as pawns to stick it to AEW. The ticket sales haven't been strong. They're barely not even at half of what Saturday Night's Main Event is at. But like what Matthew said, I hope it feels like a double-edged sword for the women, that I hope this isn't depressing any of them or making them feel bad, like, man, we didn't sell as much. But hopefully that lights a fire in them, that obviously the biggest show of the weekend is All In. Hopefully Evolution can be the second biggest show of the weekend. I'm going to cheer the women on, but I just feel for them. I feel that they didn't deserve this. Like Matthew said, maybe Evolution should have happened at a weekend where it was just them. But I hope this builds a fire in them. But again, I'm going to be cheering on the women, especially Evolution. I think All In's going to be great. Saturday Night Main Event is a contractual thing with NBC. It'll be good. One match, really, like Matthew said. But it's a double-edged sword with the women. Like, I want them to do good, but I feel bad in the position they're in. And I hope if any negativity comes off that show, I just hope WWE doesn't blame it on the women. Because like Matthew said, the buildup has been horrible. They were just thrown in there, I believe, because of WWE's pettiness towards AEW, and it's not fair to the women. But hopefully we're going to hope for the best.
Absolutely. Well said there. I agree with everything you said there. it just seems like a bad weekend. I think there's several factors. Number one, too many wrestling shows in one weekend. Evolution would have been better off on its own. There's a Beyonce concert that's happening in Atlanta. That's got a lot of people going to that. And I think that if they were on a different weekend, different city, they would have done better and had more attention. But hopefully they can put on a top-notch show, and there'll be more to come. This guy, how are you feeling about Evolution and the retirement match of one Bill Goldberg?
Well, I'm probably at a 6 out of 10 for Evolution. We've been waiting for the sequel for years now. The first one was pretty stacked, but I mean, they just came out of nowhere. And I think Rhea Ripley was like one of the top females that said she didn't even know that was happening until like a few weeks ago. So that agreement with everybody else, how they just thrown this together and it's not really getting that much shine. And again, if it fails, they'll just blame it on them as scapegoats. As for William Goldberg, I do not care. Gunther I like Gunther, but he's not like one of my favorites. William or Bill Goldberg, Billy, what was it? Biscuit? What did they used to call him?
Whisker Biscuit. That's what The Rock called him when they were feuding in 2003.
Yeah. Oh gosh. The only time I liked Goldberg was back in like 2002, 2003 with his WWE version of his theme song. So every other than that, he just destroyed one of my favorite characters of all time, The Fiend, and just it's as well as almost killed another one of my all-time favorite Undertaker. So I don't care about that match. I might just go to sleep after Dominic Mysterio versus AJ Styles because I really don't give a crap about that match.
There you go. Fair enough. And also, I wanted to mention that the build-up for Evolution hasn't been the best. I know that was touched on. I think Liv Morgan getting injured definitely hurt the booking for that show. She was going to be a big part of that one. Greg, welcome back. It's been a while since we've had you on a No DQ video. Welcome back. We love to have you on. You're over there in England. What are your thoughts on this show? And thank you for being on fairly late there. How's it going, man?
Hey, after so long. Thanks for having me back again. We were talking before the show. We thought it was like this year, but I was on last year. So that's how long it's been. That's how quick life goes. But yeah, the only thing that's bothered me this weekend is that there is a lot on. Like last weekend, there was pretty much nothing. And I'm a UFC guy as well, and there was not even UFC. So there was literally nothing on. And then this weekend, there's like 4 or 5 shows, if you include UFC. So you've got like, a show called AEW on the Saturday, which is on the same time as American Bash. So if you're into NXT stuff as well. So there's actually, which I'm not complaining about those 2 shows because they're on early. They're on like 8 o'clock in the evening for me. So happy as Larry over here. But it's the fact that they've put, 4 shows over one weekend, obviously 3 WWE. And yeah, with the Evolution, I was looking at the card and I was just realized that apart from maybe Naomi versus Jade, most of it's put together. Like it's all just like, oh, you need to have a match. Let's put you together. We want to put you on the card. There's no reason to it. I just want to fight you. Like, okay, cool. Like, so I feel like they've left it out of the way and obviously focused strangely more on Saturday Night Main Event. But we'll get to that when we talk about some of the matches individually. But yeah, rating wise for the whole weekend, I guess maybe a 7 because I think there's some potential for some good matches. But I don't know, a lot of pressure.
I would go 7 for both. I would actually go with an 8 or a 9 for All In. I think All In is my most anticipated show of the bunch, but I think Evolution could really surprise a lot of people. And as Oof said, like there's going to be something to prove with the women, and they're going to want to go out there and show everybody that they're not to be forgotten about and overlooked. It's going to be a fun weekend, I think. I'm looking forward to it. I agree with Mr. Tito. There's just too much right now, but the good thing is you don't have to watch all of it. You can pick what interests you the most. But for me, exactly. I'm covering everything but NXT since NXT is going head-to-head with AEW, and it's practically impossible to watch both shows at the same time and really be able to fully digest everything that's happening on both shows. Plus, I have to eat dinner at some point. So I have to eat dinner while I'm doing the AEW recap, because after AEW, I have to do the
Saturday nights.
stream, and then we got Saturday night's main event. So I'm literally having no break from like 1 o'clock to 10 or 11 o'clock, doing the live streams and everything. So yeah, it's going to be a very busy weekend. And thank you to everybody for supporting No DQ. And shout out to Ian, who sent in a $2 super chat, says, if Bill Goldberg wins the belt, Big G must praise Jeff Jarrett for 5 minutes.
Of course, don't forget also, there's a chance that, knowing Tony Khan's booking, All In could go till the length of Saturday night's main event.
From what I'm
not,
hearing, they're
but-
not going to. From what I'm hearing, it's probably going to be 4 hours tops. But yeah, if they run late, then I might be in some trouble.
I don't think
He's a
Bill
wrestling
needs.
machine.
I don't think Bill needs to win the belt for JJ to do that, but we'll see what happens.
Yes, I am getting pizza, Michael Wayne.
There you go.
By the
But you're a
way,
wrestling
Michael
machine.
Wayne-
You don't need food. You're just a wrestling machine like Kurt Angle was back in the day.
That's right. I'm
Watch
the
wrestling all the
talking
time.
machine. But yeah, I'm getting pizza on Saturday, doing a delivery. We're probably going to get this place called Fonzarelli's in Michigan. Really good. I know people like their Papa John's and their. I don't really like Papa John's either, but
I'll go to a local place and mom and pop shop and get pizza there.
I agree. Like Fonzarelli's.
I just had mom and pop pizza right now, so that's the best to go.
Is it called Mom and Pop's Pizza?
No. It's just a mom and pop's place. Little local area.
Would be funny.
All right, guys. Pizza aside, let's get to our thoughts on Saturday night's main event. So here's how we're going to do this one. To save time and not go on too long with these Saturday night's main event predictions, I'm just going to go one person at a time, and you can give me your thoughts and predictions for each match. We usually do not do predictions for Saturday night's main event, but I figured since it's all tied together with Evolution, we might as well. And it's a pretty big main event here, Bill Goldberg's retirement match. So feel free to give your prediction for whatever match you want. And we'll move along with this pretty quickly before we get to Evolution. So having said that, Greg, I will throw it back over to you first and get your thoughts, quick predictions for Saturday night's main event. Go ahead.
We're just saying all 4 matches from what I can see. We're just saying all 4.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I had to actually look on Wikipedia because I was like, they don't really tell us anymore. We just have to, because there's so many shows. I don't know what matches on what show. So I just knew it was Gunther versus Goldberg. I'll start with like Solo Jimmy. Solo's just won the title. He's going to retain. Yeah. It's just another. I'm sure there'll be like a million of the Samoans getting involved. They'll probably get a new one will pop up. I don't know. Is that another time for a new one? I don't know. Randy versus Drew. I don't know. I think that's that might have to be Randy. I feel like there's more stock in him at the minute than Drew. Even though Drew's just come back, but I feel like he's going to just get fed to Randy. But that could go either way. But I'll say Randy. LA Knight, Seth Rollins. Seth will be. He needs to like finish some of these feuds that he's having because he's got like about 10 feuds going on, and obviously to get to the main one, which I'm going to say is either Cena or Punk, in terms of who he finishes with, he's going to need to get past some of these other people. So LA Knight is the start of it. So they put it on like a Saturday night's main event to get it out of the way. So he'll beat him. There'll probably be some interference. There's going to be interference in every match, I feel. It just feels like that's the thing at the minute. And Gunther Goldberg, I don't dislike Goldberg as much as everyone else, but I'm also not a fan of his. But it doesn't need to be longer than like 5-10 minutes. Like he's obviously not going to. We know it's his last match. He's not going to be wrestling after this. He's not going to win it, and then they're going to vacate it and put it in like a big old Survivor Series '98 tournament. So let's just. It's going to be a Gunther win, but I reckon Goldberg he might do the spear, the jackhammer, and then Gunther kicks out, so he looks amazing. Because like you can't get any more stock from that if you kick out from that. Because even these days, people kicking out from that is quite impressive. So he'll do that. Gunther then will choke him out, I'm sure, and maybe Goldberg will just pass out so he doesn't have to like tap or be pinned. I don't know why he's still getting protected in his last match, but they might do that. But yeah, it should be a straightforward win. But hopefully there's some jeopardy to it and gets the crowd going. It's in Goldberg's hometown, so it should be fun, I think. But yeah, straightforward win.
All right, there you have it. Now, Mr. Tito thinks that CM Punk will help Goldberg win the title. And Baron Corbin went on record and said he wants Goldberg to win just so everybody would be pissed off and angry. This guy, I'm going to throw it over to you next and get your thoughts on the predictions. Do you think Goldberg's going to walk away a winner?
Let me save that main event, if you will, for last. I didn't know Solo versus the Samoan Werewolf was on this card. I had looked up the card earlier and I didn't see that there. But
they added it today.
Oh, okay. I mean, if that's the case, then I mean, obviously Solo should keep it because he just got it. I mean, I like somewhat of hot potato and titles, but I mean, like, what, a month later or 3 weeks later, you shouldn't be losing it that early. And plus, the Samoan way seems like interference 10,000 times over. So, anyway, LA Knight versus Seth, easy. I mean, I would say give LA Knight like 2 stomps to protect him, but we already know he's going down. Like the way he's going down, question mark. I would say give him 2 stomps. Obviously, I was saying earlier with Dominic Mysterio versus AJ Styles. AJ Styles, one of our all-time favorites. I will admit I became an AJ Styles fan like 10 years ago, but it's been a great 10 years of being a fan of his. Anyway, Dominic Mysterio, I feel strong that the am I forgetting the Judgment Day, they're going to be kept together a little bit longer, at least until Liv gets back. And the best way to keep them strong is to keep them having titles, gold, silver, whatever, for as long as possible. So Dominic's going to win. And at this point, AJ doesn't really need it. I would like to see him as a champion again, especially that I heard recently that this is his last year or next year's his last year or whatever. And I'm not sure if he ever won the U.S. title in WWE or not, but somebody correct me or not. But yeah, I just feel like JD's going to keep as many titles as possible until it's time, which is going to lead to my later prediction later on in this video. But spoiler alert as well. And then what is it? Last but not least, or second to last but not least, RKO versus McIntyre. McIntyre needs it. He just came back. RKO lost once or twice, Cena and Cody, so he doesn't. Again, same thing. You're a veteran, you don't really need it. And then the grand finale, which is Goldberg's grand finale. You know, I'm being serious. If anyone want to take me up on this bet, anybody on the Know the Q, if Goldberg wins, I'll give him $20. Like, I'm being serious. I won't pay the shipping. Well, I mean, I guess I could do like a MoneyGram or whatever, but I'll give somebody $20 if Goldberg wins. Just one person, whoever wants to take me up on that bet. But yeah, it's not happening. I would be extremely surprised. I wouldn't even be mad if I gave $20. I'm like, hey, whatever. But yeah, Gunther's winning. He needs it. He just got it back from Jade. And yeah, that's it.
Thank you for that, this guy. So this guy's willing to put up $20, and Big G might praise Jeff Jarrett if Bill Goldberg wins. What is going on here? Well, Big G, I'll throw it over to you next. What do you think about these 2 shows, or just Saturday night's main event?
So Saturday night's main event, simple, easy here. Solo's going to retain against Jimmy. There's discussion that Roman's going to return at Saturday night's main event, so I could see that happening. I think it's going to be at SummerSlam. It's going to be Solo, Tala, or it's going to be Solo's group versus the returning Roman versus him, Jimmy, Jacob Fatu, and 2 other people. But yeah, Solo's going to retain on Saturday. Orton versus McIntyre. It should be easy, but you know, both of them have recently lost big matches. Drew just lost to Damian back at the last Saturday night's main event in Steel Cage, and Randy Orton's lost his past couple matches too. But I'm gonna go with Randy Orton on that one just to save face. LA Knight versus Seth Rollins. I see interference in this match too. My God. But I'm gonna go with Seth Rollins. LA Knight should be okay. He's still over with the crowd, but if they're trying to build up this whole division, group with him and Rollins, he needs the momentum more. Now for the main event, I hope Gunther kicks the shit out of Goldberg. Like, make this like a 5-minute match tops. Somebody put in the chat, don't give Goldberg any offense. I agree. Just let Gunther dominate him. Like, if you really want to make Gunther his second reign more dominant, what's more dominant than beating Goldberg in like great fashion within like 5 minutes? So I'm going with Gunther to retain.
Yeah, I'm thinking Gunther retains. Maybe Gage Goldberg comes out there and tries to help his dad, and Goldberg will be helped up. I think it's going to go about 5 minutes. Goldberg will get one more spear in, but Gunther will kick out, of course. And then they might do a little bit of submission holds. But yeah, I think Gunther will ultimately win. And then Gage Goldberg will save his father. And then Goldberg will stand tall. His music will play. He'll take a bow. And that'll be it for Goldberg. That's what I think is going to happen with this one. And Randy Orton and Drew McIntyre is tough because both guys are coming off losses. I could see Drew winning with some kind of a dirty tactic, or maybe he even gets DQ'd. I don't really expect a clean finish for this one. I think there'll be something, whether it's a weapon used or some kind of dirty tactic. Drew McIntyre will be up to no good, and the feud will continue. And then Solo will retain. I think that's pretty easy to say. And what's the fourth match?
LA Knight versus Seth.
Well, I think Seth, but maybe Roman Reigns returns and costs Rollins.
So you think Roman's going to return at this match? Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I would not be shocked if we see Roman Reigns come back on the show, the OTC1 or whatever they're going to call him.
Oh, I know.
All right, Matthew, I'll throw it over to you now. What do you think?
Well, I think Solo wins. It's too early for him to be losing. Yeah, I think we are seeing, one of WWE's big problems is most of these matches are going to have interference, which is a problem with AEW as well. Both companies rely on interference and post-match brawls way too much. But yeah, Solo wins. I think Drew's going to win because I think we're finally maybe teasing that Randy Orton heel turn.
Yeah.
Because he was reluctant at Clash. He pulled the turnbuckle pad and it went against him. And he even said in the promo, any means necessary. So I think maybe we're finally going to start seeing build up towards the Orton heel turn. Maybe this is even a Drew face turn, but yeah, Orton's gonna not take the loss well. Maybe there'll be a beatdown afterwards, but yeah, Drew wins. Seth wins, probably due to the numbers game, but I think that will lead into the main event where, like a lot of people, I want Gunther to win. Goldberg hopefully gets all his moves in, but, Gunther just shakes him off. There's no injuries, no mess ups. Maybe we tease a Seth cash in, but that's where LA Knight will cost him to prevent the cash in. But Gunther goes over tall, and, Goldberg gets to bow out in Atlanta like he should on his back, like the traditional wrestler used to do.
All right, thank you for that, Matthew. And now we will throw it over to Oscar, and then we'll move on to Evolution.
Hey, so Solo just got the U.S. title, and I think if someone's going to defeat Solo, it'll be probably Jacob again to get his win back. So Solo retains. Orton Drew, I think we're all struggling with that one, but I'm going to go with Drew. Matthew kind of stole my answer, but that's cool. It'll be a good match. Drew will get the win at the end, and we might see the sign of the old legend killer, the old heel Randy Orton frustration that'll hopefully eventually lead to his heel turn. Rollins and Knight. I'm going to go with Knight because the briefcase holder, if history has shown me anything, is if you carry the briefcase, you lose a lot. And so with Rollins with the briefcase, we'll give the win to Knight, build him up for maybe someone said in the chat room, maybe have Knight and Gunther go at it at SummerSlam. We'll see. And speaking of the big one, the main event, Goldberg and Gunther. Obviously, like everybody, I do believe Gunther is going to go over. Like everybody is saying, if it's 3 minutes, I think it'll be too long. This is on national television, so there should be no commercial breaks during this match. So start the match, maybe spear, jackhammer, Gunther kicks out of the pin, and then some shenanigans, and then Gunther gets the win. Yeah, maybe his son will probably come in there. If Gunther's going to show a beatdown after the match, his son will jump in and Gunther will just step away. And obviously, I will lose my head, and I will say it right now. I will donate a NoDQ.com T-shirt to a random fan if Bret Hart shows up on Saturday night's main event. You heard it right here. I will give a T-shirt to someone if Bret appears and does something. So will he? I doubt it, but you never know. This is wrestling. So Gunther retains. Goldberg gets the last, his hurrah, bows, and then here comes Bret. No, I don't know. I'm just saying. But Gunther retains.
I've seen people mention that they want to see Bret Hart show up and screw Goldberg in Goldberg's final match, but highly
it would be beautiful, but yes, like the great Aaron Riff says, highly unlikely in likelihood. But this is wrestling, cards subject to change. So
very
go
true. All right, let's move on to Evolution, which is on Sunday. Oh, this guy.
Hey, quick, Oofman. Would people in the panel count for that T-shirt?
That's up to the boss. If Bret Hart shows up, I leave it in Aaron's hands. I will pick your shirt, your size. It'll arrive to you 4 to 6 weeks later. If Bret just shows up, if he's there in the crowd, it doesn't count. I'm saying he has to get involved in the match for the record.
Right.
He has to get involved.
Over the barricade, right? What if he's over the barricade and he just like stands on the outside? Does that count? Like he's not officially in the match, but he's not like
if he stares down Goldberg as he's leaving, yes, that'll count. But Bret has to do something. He has to do some interaction with Goldberg. So
all right, guys, let's get to Evolution, which is on Sunday. We got 7 matches for this, a longer card than usual. WWE tends to go 5 or 6 matches for these shows as of late. All right, we will start off with the Evolution Battle Royal. Now, I'm not even sure who the participants are in this one, so maybe somebody can tell me some of the names for this. I know they did reveal a few NXT names. I checked Wikipedia, and Wikipedia doesn't even have any names listed, which is very unusual. I feel like the people on Wikipedia are typically on the ball with the names. They did reveal some on NXT. I really don't see any of the NXT people winning this per se.
I have the
Ivy Nile, Candice LeRae.
Yeah,
go ahead.
All right, so Stephanie Vakir, Ivy Nile, Nia Jax, Nikki Bella, Natalia, Maxine Dupree, Kalani Jordan, Jada Parker, Lola Vice, Lash Legend, Izzy Dame, Tatum, Paxley, Zelina Vega, Julia, and Candice LeRae.
All right, well, I think I got my picks, but Big G, I'll just start with you first on this one. So you'll get 2 picks, a primary pick and a secondary pick. And that'll be part of the predictions league. You get 2 points if your primary pick wins.
All right. So for my secondary pick, because whoever wins this gets a title shot at Clash in Paris.
Correct.
So just remember that. Just for shits and giggles, my second pick will be Nikki Bella, and my primary pick will be Stephanie Vakir.
You took the words right out of my mouth, Big G. That was exactly what I was going with. I was going to say Nikki Bella for number 2. My wife, Caitlin, is a big Bella Twins fan. We met Bree in February. she could win. I mean, apparently she's going to be around for a little bit of a run here. It won't just be a one-off appearance. She could win, but I think of the whole list there, Stephanie Valkyria is the biggest name and the star that they're pushing. So I'm going to say that it is Stephanie Valkyria that wins this one.
I'd say Julia, but she just won the Women's United States Championship, so
I was initially going to not do a bonus point for Evolution, but you know what? We're going to do 2 bonus points. So Noah Foster, I'll reach out to you. We are going to have 2 bonus points because people are speculating on it. We might as well throw it out for the Battle Royal.
Yeah.
They could show up somewhere else, but I'm going to say just anywhere on this show. The first one, does Paige, a.k.a. Saraya, show up? And then the second one is, does AJ Lee show up? These are bonus points. So go ahead. Yes or no for both of them. Anywhere
Paige,
on the show. Anywhere on
Paige,
the show.
Yeah, I'd say both of them show up. You know, WWE just posted on their YouTube channel like AJ Lee's like videos and stuff like that. So there's a slight chance that she could show up. But I'll say both just for bonus points.
Okay, so I'm going to say no to AJ Lee, although I would love to see her make an appearance, even if it's just she shows up and raises somebody's hand. It would be great to see her again, right? I'll believe it when I see it, you know, so I'm not going to say that. But Paige, she keeps doing the interviews. She's saying, oh, yeah, I'm doing other stuff right now, blah, blah, blah. But I feel like that could be a red herring and she's actually going to show up. I'll say yes. I say Saraya shows up, not necessarily to wrestle, but maybe she appears and raises the hand of the winner of the Battle Royal. So, yeah, yes to Saraya, no to AJ Lee. Matthew, we'll throw it over to you now and get your thoughts on the Battle Royal, first and secondary pick, and then do you see AJ and or Paige showing up at any point in the show?
Yes, I think Paige will show up. I'd love AJ to show up, so I'm going to say yes, but, you know, that's a bonus point I'm willing to, you know, lose if it doesn't happen. Stephanie, pretty much, you know, she's on fire right now. Now would be the time to put her. I would love the final to be Stephanie versus Julia. You know, just to rekindle that rivalry and remind people of, you know, what they had in NXT. I'm kind of sad that they never really got a proper finish in NXT. I'm sorry, I don't want to see Nikki get in the top 4. She was just in the top 3 at the Rumble. I don't want to see it again. I know that. I know Caitlin's probably going to hate me, but I'm going to go with Stephanie 1, Julia 2.
Oh, yeah, Julia's a good pick also, I think.
Yeah.
We'll throw it over now to Greg. Greg, you mentioned in the chat room, you brought up Santino's daughter. Is she in this match? Ariana Grace?
She might be.
I don't know because she doesn't wrestle as much. She does all like a gimmicky type things on the NXT. She's not wrestling as much. I know she had her injury and stuff, but I was joking about because Caitlin, your wife, she put like Santina to show up, and I was like, it'd just be funny if Santina.
No.
If Santina Marella showed up, oh my god.
Oh man, I think that'd be a decent pop, even though we're supposed to be not going back to them days of guys dressing up as women, and it should be an all women's Evolution, not guys who used to dress
Santina,
up as
yeah, Santina,
who actually
Santina
won
Marella.
a battle royal at a WrestleMania. Wasn't that like 25 or something?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
That's crazy. That must have. How did that? I don't know. But yeah. For this battle royal, yeah, it's straightforward. It's got to be Stephanie. They're literally trying to push her to the moon by the looks of it, and I'm a fan. She's very over, very good. if she can just master that mic a bit better and her English keeps on getting better, then that would be amazing. I don't. No offense to. I'm going to upset Caitlin as well. I don't want Nikki Bella to be in and around and winning stuff. And I'm sorry, but I've never been a big Bella's fan. Like, I'm sorry, but I just I can't. I don't even want to mention the sisters' theme music, which is the worst of all time. Let's just put that out there. Which I knew someone would say.
Oh,
I know. Noah's got a thing on another stream one day, but I hope that it's one of the young girls coming up, like a Lola. That is as a secondary pick for me, maybe like a Lola or a Jada. I'm gonna go with like, I don't know. I still think I'll pick Julia as like a second pick, only because they've put her and Stephanie on such a high pedestal at the minute. I think that would be a good shout. And so I'm just reading the chat. But yeah, I hope it's one of those two. If it's not a surprise entrant, I think there's more chance AJ comes back over Soraya or Paige. I don't know. I'd rather see AJ. I love AJ. I loved her back in the day, and obviously her husband obviously doing big things right now. He's back in the company, so it would be great to see her back. I'm a big fan. So, but yeah, I'm gonna go that AJ will show, but I don't know about the battle royal. Maybe she'll just randomly come out at the end and confront maybe the winner or something. That everyone will be like, "What's going on? What's going on?" Maybe the winner has to face her before Clash in Paris or something. I don't know. But that's my top two.
All right, thank you for that. The answer to the question, did CFOs ever produce a bad WWE theme song? The answer is yes. And it was, in fact, Beautiful Life, a.k.a. the Brie Mode song. I didn't have the heart to tell Brie that I hate that song. Couldn't do it. All right, Oofman, I'm going to throw it over to you now with your thoughts on the Battle Royal and, of course, the AJ and Paige potential surprise appearances. Go ahead.
Yeah, sorry, Caitlin. I cannot, since day one, I could not stand the Bellas. Whatever Rumble it was where Nikki was the next to last one, I was shaking, having a seizure, like, oh my gosh, are they actually going to give her the win? They didn't, praise God. So I can't see neither of the Bellas winning this. I'm going to go with Stephanie. She's the one that's on fire right now. She's the popular one. I'm a little shocked. I know I think she's in the NXT show, that Jordan Grace wouldn't be on this show yet. But again, this is just the Wikipedia ones announced. Maybe Jordan Grace does show up. Who knows?
She's in a title match. She has a title match.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. So there you go.
Yeah.
So there's a reason why she wouldn't. Maybe would she double? Who knows? No, probably not. She has a title match, then no. So I'm gonna go with Stephanie as my first choice. And just for giggles, I'm gonna say Natty. Why not? I'm a Hart fan guy, so. As far as AJ and or Soraya / Paige, I'm going to go yes with Paige and no to AJ. I think they'll maybe it would be better for her at the Royal Rumble in January to see her there. But then I was looking at her Instagram, but I do remember AJ did share, I don't know where she shared it, but I saw it.
On
it was
Instagram.
Was it on Instagram? I was just on it.
Yeah.
I didn't see it.
She posted a picture with her wrestling boots on.
Right. And just said chilling or waiting or something like that. So even with that tease, I don't think she'll be there. I'm going to go with yes with Paige. Paige will make a return in the Battle Royal. And AJ, I'll save her for the Rumble. It's in Saudi. You want to get a lot of eyes over there. And it would be cool for AJ to return there. So Stephanie and Natty are my choices. Paige, yes. AJ, no.
That's a very bold prediction for Natalya, by the way, but more power to you for showing your support for the Hart family. This guy will close it out with you, and then we'll get to the next match. Go ahead.
Well, in simplest form, not to take Noah's stick. It's obvious. I'm not a fan at all of Stephanie Procure. Just like I'm not a fan of. Yeah, I think she's overhyped.
Whoa.
She is overhyped. I could put me on a round table, man, and I would just go off. Anyway, I would prefer Ivy now, who's a better wrestler and seems like a better talker from the few times that she's been on the mic. But it's definitely Valkyria. Backup strategy. I would love to put either Ivy or Nia, but you know what? I'm gonna say, I hate Nikki too, but I'll put Nikki as my secondary. And I feel like it's gonna be the title's gonna be like 1 or 2 out, and it's the final four is gonna be Valkyria, Bella, Ivy, and maybe Zelina. She's going to be the first one out of among them, and dang, who else is in NXT? Probably Gulia. Like those are going to be the last 4.
Julia.
I call her Gulia because
Julia
starts with a J, but I always call her Gulia. So anyway, but it's definitely like that's easy.
All right, guys. On that note, we'll move on. Did we get everybody? I think we got everybody.
Yes.
All right, we're going to move on to the next match. So this match is for the NXT Women's Championship. We got JC Jane defending against Jordynne Grace. And I believe the winner of this will be defending this title at TNA Slammiversary. Am I correct on that?
Correct, against Masha Slamovich.
All right. And because of that, I think this is an easy prediction. I think we're getting a new champion. I think Jordynne Grace is your next NXT Women's Champion. It feels like JC Jane is just the transitional champion. Jordynne is really the star of the brand at this point. Matthew, I'll throw it over to you. What are your thoughts on this one?
I mean, it's hard to disagree with that. JC, I think, mostly got the belt because they wanted to call up Stephanie, and JC has at least earned a title run of some sort. You know, she's been in NXT forever. She's, one of the last. I think her and Toxic Attraction were one of the good things to come out of the rainbow colored, NXT. And, this was just kind of a thank you for, being, an important part of the roster. And I think she's probably going to get called up soon. But yeah, Jordynne Grace has been, she's been in NXT a while, and we all thought she was pretty much going to get a title win, immediately. But, they had Julia, they had Stephanie, but I think it's Jordynne's time. And then there's just that history with her and Masha. And I'm kind of curious how that's going to go. Could this be a short reign for her? And, we've got a NXT star with a TNA title. Could we now get a TNA star with a NXT title, which I would love to see, because that would finally really make this partnership, mesh together. But yeah, I'm going to go with Jordynne Grace.
All right. Well, I think that's a safe prediction. And I was at Bound for Glory when they did the match with Masha and Jordynne Grace. So yeah, I know they got that history. This guy, I'll go over to you next on this one. What are your thoughts?
Easy, Jordynne Grace. Simple.
Simple as that. All right, Jordynne Grace, thank you for that. This guy, keep it short and sweet. Oof, what do you think?
I'm going to go against the grain and say JC Jane retains, because Jordynne Grace is going to come up to the main roster by SummerSlam. So JC Jane retains, and either at SummerSlam or the Raw or SmackDown after SummerSlam, we will see Jordynne Grace. I'm going to go with, I'll say SmackDown. So JC Jane retains, Jordynne Grace comes up to SmackDown. I'm going to say the SmackDown after SummerSlam.
All right, and we'll throw it over to Greg now. Go ahead, Greg.
This should be straightforward. JC has the belt. I think she got the belt thrown on her because it was Stephanie she beat, right? And then Stephanie got put up into the main roster, and that's probably one of the main reasons why they probably just had to put the belt on someone. No offense to JC, I think she was just in the right place at the right time, maybe. Jordynne should be winning, or baby China, as I call her, because pretty much don't know, that's who she reminds me of, and she speaks a little bit like her as well. But she's like quite jacked, I think, even for her size. But yeah, I think she's winning. But I've got to disagree with Usman. I don't think she's she's not going to be getting called up anytime soon. I think she can dominate maybe the lower the lower sorry, NXT for now, or TNA, whatever. So I think that's what she'll be doing for the next maybe like 6 months or something. Maybe around like Rumble time, Mania time, they might bring her up, but she can help out the division down there because she's probably one of the most experienced women. So she'll win the belt. And but yeah, I feel like they hot potato it at the minute. So who knows how long she'll have it for, or who she'll lose it to? Probably one of the people in the battle royal. I don't know. Like, that woman's title is getting thrown around a lot. It's not being kept, because anytime someone does have it, yeah, they go to another roster or something. So, but yeah, and obviously you've got Monroe. Is that her name? What's her name? What's her name from Mariah May? So I forgot her NXT name already, but she's coming up. So they'll probably try to chuck the belt on her soon enough. So, but yeah, I think Jordan's right.
Big G, did we get your thoughts?
No. I mean, I'm going with Jordan Grace too. Matthew mentioned it too. I was thinking it too. Her and Masha have history, so I feel like that's the right choice. And it would be interesting to see a TNA wrestler hold an NXT title. So Jordan Grace for the win here.
All right. And on that note, we will move to the next match on this loaded card. We got a 4-way match for the WWE Women's Tag Team titles. We got Raquel and Roxanne Perez defending against Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss. The Kabuki Warriors are back together, Asuka and Kairi Sane. And then from NXT, Sol Ruka and Zarya. So this is a match to see if Roxanne and Raquel are actually worthy of being the champions. They have to face three other teams. Now, in my opinion, in these types of matches, when the deck is stacked against the champions tend to retain, even though they could lose without taking the fall. But there's really no reason for them to lose the titles right now, especially when Liv Morgan got hurt. You really don't want to keep changing the champions. So I think the champions have to retain this one. This guy threw in a $2 super chat. Thank you. This guy says, oh, yeah, no AJ and no Paige. AJ could be the NXT GM someday. Well, I mean, with The Rock's daughter there, I don't know if that spot's going to be open or not, but you never know. There might be a spot somewhere else sometime down the line. But yeah, he's predicting no AJ, no Paige. Well, this guy, I'll throw it over to you first now in that case and get your thoughts on this 4-way tag match.
Well, like I said in the Saturday night main event prediction, I said this. I spoke it ahead of the time. Judgment Day really can't afford to lose it right now. They just lost Liv to real life injury, so yeah, they're keeping it. If that wasn't the factor, and let's just say crazy like alternate reality that it was Liv and Raquel going against all these other people, I could see them losing it. Because like, what is it? Was it last year or the year before last? Was it night? Dang it, who was it? I'm forgetting her name. Bianca and whoever her tag team partner, they lost out of nowhere at one of these like live events to what is her name? Chelsea Green's sidekick when she had a tag team partner. So I would say that in that situation, but because the circumstance it's going to be, they're keeping the titles, and I hope they keep it till about until Liv comes back, which might be like next Royal Rumble.
If we're lucky, she might be gone.
Yeah. Let's go with that. Yeah, maybe what's Elimination Chamber next year or something like that.
Yeah, maybe for WrestleMania we'll get Liv Morgan back. But let's throw it over now to Big G. Big G, what are your thoughts?
Oh man, I don't feel like Raquel and Roxanne are going to retain here. So that being said, I'm just because she's on this pay-per-view, I'm going to go with Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss to win the tag titles. Just because of that whole, what's the word I'm thinking of? Like, they're not really friends.
Odd
the
couple.
odd couple. You know, they're not really friends. And you know, Alexa won the match with them on SmackDown last week. And Charlotte,
Yeah.
I'm sure Charlotte wants another title, so they're gonna give it to her. So I'm gonna go with Charlotte and Alexa Bliss to win this match.
Do you think Roxanne and Raquel are going to lose in their first defense?
Yeah, because they're gonna pretty much like bump heads. You know, they're not gonna get along or anything like that. So
All right. Well, Matthew, I'll throw it over to you now. Do you agree with Big G? That seems
I'm
like
trying
a big fat no.
not to, because I don't like this whole trying to push Charlotte as a babyface using Alexa being, you know, we just saw the failed babyface turn of Charlotte, but I'm kind of on the fence. I mean, my heart personally is the Kabuki Warriors because I love Asuka. Asuka's the best, but I don't see them winning. That's leading into a whole nother story, but I think they want to push the whole Live Revenge Tour version 2, but now as a babyface. And if they're going to do that, Roxanne has to take everything from Liv that Liv took from Rhea. And to do that, they have to retain the tag titles. So I'm going to go with that logic and say that they will retain, but I am kind of curious where they're going, both with this Charlotte Liv thing and could we see a breakup of the Kabuki Warriors, because they've really been pushing Kairi as a singles. They've been giving her vignettes, and I still want to see Asuka versus Io and Io versus Kairi. So being that Damage Control is kind of done, I think the only way to do that is one of them's going to probably have to go heel, unless they just want to do a babyface. But yeah, I'm going to stick with the champions retain.
All right. Thank you for that, Matthew. Greg, I will go over to you next on this one. Go ahead.
Yeah, there's some interesting points where everyone said. I was thinking from maybe at the get-go of Kabuki Warriors winning it, because I'm thinking, why are they suddenly, you know, I know they only put them back together like what on Raw, or was it the other week or whatever?
yeah, Raw.
And yeah, so literally like the other day. But I think they just needed a solid tag team, because as you can see with the people in it, they've even got the NXT girls, who I think are the least likely. So I'm going to completely rule them out. No offense to Soruka and Zarya. I would agree with the whole Judgment Day girls retaining, only if to keep them to having the belt, only so like when Liv comes back, she can be like, hey, what the hell's going on here? Like, how comes you suddenly kept the belt? She suddenly, you know, to Roxanne to be like, oh, you just slotted right into my space. What the hell's going on? But she's not back for like what, another 6, 7, 8 months. So
Yeah.
it's not going to happen next week or next month. And we know what the women's tag titles are like. They're not going to keep the tag titles for another 6, 7, 8 months. There's no chance they are keeping them belts until like WrestleMania time. Like, I just can't see it happening. Like, they love flipping about them belts. So I think because of that team, I think Big G said it quite well, of Flair and Bliss. And because I feel like them two need something to do, and with Flair, she can't live without title, and Bliss might need it right now, and they're doing the whole odd thing. I think them two are going to be winning it. They might even win it accidentally, like maybe at the weekend, we don't know. And then they'll keep it for a while, defend it for a bit. And I think once them two might be ready to clash, and sort of, you know, maybe Alexa turns, or I'm sure they're trying to keep Flair a face, that's when Judgment Day win it back. This is maybe later in the year, around like end of the year or Rumble. So when Bliss is ready to come back, sorry, not Bliss, when Morgan's ready to come back, she can be like, oh, you've got the tag titles again, well done. As soon as they win the belts, you know, it's like Judgment Day going to win the belts on like a random Raw, and then Morgan's going to come back and be like, it's going to like end the show. And she's going to be like, what the hell's going on here? And that's when it's going to cause drama. So at least it keeps Judgment Day going until then. But I just think that's the way they're going to go with it. And I think it keeps that whole storyline interesting, considering Balor's teasing, that he's liking the whole them two trying to argue and fight, and I don't know, maybe them without the belts doesn't help because they're clearly going to bust maybe at the weekend, but Balor's going to try and fix it so they keep together for a while longer, and maybe one of them wins another title, so like it keeps Raquel jealous of Roxanne or vice versa. So I think I'm going to go with Flair and Bliss because of everything that's going on.
All right, that's an interesting prediction. This guy, I'm going to throw it over to you. I guess you sent in a $2 super chat, so thank you for that. And I wanted to know if we're going to do a bonus point for eating the pin. I wasn't going to, but since you super chatted it, sure, why not? Who's going to actually be pinned or which team is losing? Team or specific person that's getting pinned or submitted?
Just a team. But I had a question or statement, I guess, for Rick. So I agree 100%. Like we're several months out from her coming back. That makes sense. My only, I guess, statement is WWE, and I was going to actually joke about this, but I forgot my joke earlier in the day. We had Night of Champions a couple of weeks ago, and this seems like the real Night of Champions because we have all these titles finally on the line when it should have been a few weeks ago. That being said, they barely present the titles on PP.
PLE.
Yes, thank you. So they could literally just do that same nonsense of not showcasing it for like 2-3 months. I definitely agree. Like Charlotte and Alexa do need something to do these next few months or whatever, and it would make sense for them to trade it back and forth. But the issue is, like, Triple H never showcases the mid-card titles anywhere near as much as they should, especially the female title, which also another reason why I said 6 out of 10 for this paper or PLE, whatever, is because they don't showcase any of the female titles anyway. So that's my only gripe with it. But yeah, whoever wants to go first, I was going to say the Kabuki Warriors was going to eat the pin. But anyway, I'll shut up now.
All right. We'll throw it in there as another one. Why not? Uthman, we'll go over to you and get your thoughts on this. You can add who you think is actually going to lose this one too, if you want. Go ahead.
Well, that was a good segue. This guy, I'll answer that. What is Alexa and Charlotte going to do? They're going to feud because I have the champs retaining. And who's going to get the pin? Who's going to eat the pin? It's going to be either Alexa or Charlotte. They're going to do the.
I'm not quite sure how to help you with that.
There's my Alexa talking to me. So there you go. They're going to feud. And again, SummerSlam is 2 nights, 20 minutes from my house. You need matches. She who should not be named versus Charlotte Flair will have a feud match or a feud heading to SummerSlam, which is in 3 weeks, less than 3 weeks away from this Saturday. So there you go. One of them will eat the pin. I'll go with she who should not be named, and Flair will get angry. And then at the end of the match, they're going to shove each other. The other women are going to probably pull them apart. The tag champs are going to walk out the ramp, holding the belts, laughing at everybody. And for the record, I was to this day, I'm not a fan of fatal 4-ways for tag matches. I'm okay singles, but tag, it never made sense to me. I prefer elimination for team elimination matches, but it's a fatal 4-ways. All right. But yeah, so the champs retain, she who should not be named, and Flair will eat the pin, and this will begin their feud heading to the SummerSlam, as Brett would call it.
The SummerSlam. Bill Goldberg. All right, let's move on here to the next match on this card. We got a few more to talk about here before we wrap things up. I did get everybody, right?
Yeah.
All right. So the next match we got on this show, where is my graphic? Oh, here we go. All right. Next match we will be discussing is...
We're live, pal.
We are live, pal. Jade Cargill. Yeah, StreamYard recently changed their layout, and it's a little... I'm still getting used to it. Jade Cargill versus Naomi. Now, this is the one match on the card that really feels like a pay-per-view match. Like, there's been history between these two, and this is something that could headline a main pay-per-view, like a SummerSlam, but they're doing it here. This is going to be, I believe, a no-holds-barred match. Yes. Jade Cargill versus Mrs. Money in the Bank. Jade Cargill has the title shot at SummerSlam. I think that tells you all you need to know. Jade Cargill wins this one. They usually do this with the Money in the Bank holders. They go on a losing streak before they cash in. I think this one's obvious. Jade Cargill wins. I got little else to say about it other than it should be a good match. So, Oof, I'm going to go right back to you. What are your thoughts on this?
Yeah, like I said with the Rollins night match for Saturday night main event, and you just reiterated it, the briefcase holder goes on a losing streak. Jade wins it at Evolution because, early prediction, Naomi will get her heat back and will up one Jade because I think Naomi's going to cash in at the SummerSlam on Jade. So Jade wins Sunday, but Naomi gets her revenge at the Summerfest.
The Summerfest. I hated that guest host era.
Yeah, only time
Terrible.
I'm using that ever. I'm going to go back to the SummerSlam. So.
All right, I appreciate that. Thank you, Oscar. Big G, I'll throw it over to you now. Now, it was pointed out that Jade won at WrestleMania, but
Yeah.
I can't see her losing again when she has the title.
Yeah. I mean, well, so with the Money in the Bank thing with going to Rollins, I think Rollins has been looking pretty strong. He just won his match the other night on Raw against Penta, you know. But anyways, going to Jade and Naomi, Jade did win at WrestleMania, but I feel like if they're going to continue this feud, I think Jade's going to win here. And like Uthman just said, Naomi's going to cash in on Jade at SummerSlam. So Jade Cargill to win this no holds barred match.
Sounds about right. This guy will go to you next.
I had my prediction made up, but now I'm kind of swaying a little bit.
Should we go back to you?
No, I'm going to take a risk. I'm going to say Naomi, only because ever since she won the Money in the Bank, I feel like because they kept boasting about women was a 99th percentile victory with the briefcase, and for some crazy reason, I've been saying I feel like they're going to make her the first Cena when it comes to the females division. So I think the best way to do that, unfortunately, is to make her get this one over on Jade, and then be done with it. Like she might cash in the next PLE, whatever, or two from there, and then she's going to be unsuccessful. While Rollins is going to be successful, unfortunately.
All right. And by the way, I know there was a comment from City by the Bay that maybe it'll be a DQ, but it's a no holds barred match, so you can't do a DQ.
Hell in a Cell 2019, Aaron. That's all I gotta say.
For crying out loud. All right, Greg, let's go.
The less we talk about that, the better, please. The less, the better.
Rest in peace, Bray Wyatt, by the way.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm literally going to echo what you guys have just said because as much as I think someone obviously said that, or was it this guy that said obviously that Jade won at WrestleMania, which obviously is a bit silly that they're having this match again, but I think they're trying to tease that Jade is going to beat her again, and they're like, oh, Naomi's not getting close to her, she keeps losing, because obviously Naomi's going to get the final laugh, as everyone's been saying, because I think it's quite obvious that Jade's gonna win the title at SummerSlam and get cashed in on Naomi, and so Jade will eventually get her moment, I think, but it'll be like WrestleMania time, I'm gonna say, because I don't think Jade still is just not ready to be having that world title and going on a run with it. So she's still a bit away from it, but to tease it would be great. But yeah, she's going to be beating Naomi, and but obviously Naomi eventually gets the last laugh, and I'm looking forward to see how Naomi does that gimmick of when she does win the title and with her new gimmick, and does win the title. So and I feel like she's just going to be one of them chicken SHIT heels that runs away from everyone and doesn't want to face everyone and cheats her way like most matches for the rest of the year until she gets caught out. Yeah, a Jade win at the weekend.
All right, Matthew, we'll throw it over to you now.
I'm pretty much with the rest of the group. I think Jade's going to win, but I think she could have help. I think this could be the return of Bianca.
Oh, yeah.
Just to screw over Naomi.
Yep.
But, yeah, Jade wins. I'm curious how the match is going to go because the Asuka Jade match wasn't great, but hopefully with this being more of a fight and less of a match, at least we hope, it might do a little bit better. I'm still curious because I still think Bianca eventually has to go heel herself. But yeah, I think eventually this will lead, like everybody else says, it's going to lead to Jade getting the win, but Naomi eventually is going to get the ultimate victory and cash in probably at SummerSlam. But I won't be surprised if Bianca somehow returns as well, just because, if this is a night for all women, that would be another big return. And I know people are ready for her to come back. So, but yeah, Jade wins, and maybe this leads to eventually Jade, Bianca, Naomi at another pay-per-view. Maybe Clash at Paris or what's first, Clash of Paris or SummerSlam?
SummerSlam.
Okay, so yeah, maybe Clash of Paris.
Sorry. Here's an idea. What if they swerve us and they turn Bianca heel and have her team up with Naomi?
See, that's what I'm thinking ultimately is going to happen. I still think Bianca was the mastermind behind all of this. But, they keep delaying it, but...
I agree. Bianca will turn heel, but not till the SummerSlam.
Okay.
I don't see her showing up on Sunday.
All right. Well, we'll see. We'll see what happens. Good discussion about that one. We'll move on to the next match on our show. We got 3 left to discuss. First up, we have the triple threat match for the Women's Intercontinental Championship. Becky Lynch versus Bayley versus Lyra Valkyria. They've had their back and forth, all 3 of them, going back to WrestleMania. Matthew, I'm going to go right back to you and get your thoughts on this triple threat. Who do you think is leaving Evolution as champion?
This is a tough one, but I think this is Bayley's night. She got screwed out of the Mania moment. She got, and I don't think Becky is Becky isn't working as well of a heel as I like. And Lyra, I'd hope that this would help elevate Lyra, but Lyra still just feels like the sidekick to both of them. But Bayley, I think Bayley and Becky feuding over the title in the SummerSlam would be a great way to elevate this title. And Becky doesn't really need neither Bayley or Becky, I think, need the title. But I want to see Bayley get, some comeuppance from, losing her match at Mania. So I'm going to go with Bayley.
Interesting choice there. Oof, I'm going to go with you next on this one. What are your thoughts?
I'm going to go with Becky retaining because, like Matthew said, we need to get Becky and Bayley one-on-one. If we're going with it was Becky who took out Bayley, we need to see them to feud over the belt, to give the belt prestige a little. Lyra, she did all right, but now that Becky has the belt, you put a strong name to it, and then now if you have Becky and Bayley feuded, you got 2 of the former horsewomen, 2 of the biggest names in the women's roster going after the women's IC. So Becky retains here, and then, like I said, less than 3 weeks to go for the SummerSlam. Got to fill out 2 nights. It'll be Becky and Bayley for the women's IC there. So Becky retains on Sunday.
All right, Big Baller G, we'll go to you next.
This should be a fun match. But I'm gonna just for the hell of it, I'm gonna go with Bayley to win the title here too.
Oh wow!
Like Matthew said, she lost her spot at Mania, and I think this is their way of saying, all right, well, here you go. Here's the title. And Matt said it, and Oofman just said it, they'll have a match. You have to fill up the 2 nights at SummerSlam now, so what better way to have Bayley versus Becky? And if you think about it, a couple years ago at SummerSlam, Bayley showed up she had reappeared during a Becky match, and they still got all that history from NXT, so they got that chemistry. That these two women will have a great feud to elevate the women's IC title.
See, I figured Bayley was going to be taking the pin in this one, but maybe not. I mean, could be Lyra that takes it, and then we get Becky versus Bayley. But I'm going with Becky to retain just for the fact that she hasn't been champion that long, and I really don't want to see the titles hot potatoed. Greg, what do you think?
Yeah, I am pretty much the same as Uthman. What Uthman said, pretty much, I agree. I think Becky's retaining. She's not obviously had it too long, and I think they are heading towards that big. Considering how it all started at WrestleMania with the whole Becky taking Bayley's place, that should be the big SummerSlam match. I think in the match that the reason obviously they're doing that triple threat is so Lyra can take the fall. They'll do the old Bayley's that does her finishing move on Lyra, and then Becky will put her out the ring or chuck her out the ring and then take the pin and do the old heel tactic and be like, yeah, look at me, I'm so great, I'm the man, blah, blah. And then Bayley will come out on Raw and be like, yeah, you didn't pin me though. And then that can set up SummerSlam, and then Becky will be like, yeah, but I'm still better than you, blah, blah. So that sets up SummerSlam. I don't know if Bayley will win at SummerSlam or they'll delay it and maybe do it at a Clash where it might have a better crowd reaction only because of the European crowds. No offense. Obviously, they go crazy in Paris, as we've seen. But even though, where is SummerSlam's in MetLife, right?
Yeah.
Is it in
Jersey.
Oh, in Jersey. Oh, wow.
Little Jersey.
In Jersey. They're crazy.
Careful what
there.
you say. Uthman's from Jersey.
Oh no, I love it. I've been in that actual stadium like 10 years ago now for the Giants game. So
okay.
Cracking.
So Greg knows.
Yeah, so I've been there. So yeah, I've been in that stadium, and I'm a bit jealous because like next year the World Cup is going to be there. They're having like the World Cup in obviously in America, and Mexico, and Canada. So I really would love to go there. Yeah, I'd love to go there. Have a final there.
Well, Greg, the finals are here. We're hosting the finals of the World Cup.
Yeah, they're having. I think the semis and the final is there. So like
semis and finals are here at MetLife. Yep, it's going to be a little bit crazy here next summer.
Hopefully England are thereabouts, but man, I'm not holding my breath. But who knows?
Same with Germany. I'm not holding my breath.
Yeah, Germany might be. You never know.
They might be in it.
Guatemala made it to the semifinals of the Gold Cup, so yay! There's some hope.
I know. I can't believe Mexico won that. But yeah. So yeah, there's going to be a good crowd there for SummerSlam. It's going to be a crazy hot crowd, I'd like to think. So they might pull the trigger on Bayley winning, but if not, then you've always got Clash. But yeah, in terms of this weekend, it's going to be Becky, and surely Lyra takes the pin, and then they do the whole Bayley situation. So yeah, Becky retain, I think.
All right. Now we'll throw it over to this guy, and then we'll get to our 2 world title matches. Go ahead, this guy.
Gosh, I mean, Aaron, as you know, I despise both Becky and Raven chick, whatever her name is, so much. I know you're being sarcastic. Anyway, so that being said, I agree with that. That Heather Chocolate. I'm joking. My wife said the same thing. She likes Bayley. I like Bayley, but we already know Becky's going to win it. And the issue here is the thing that WWE's been doing for a long time. You have a triple threat feud, and then you still, after that match is over, you still go on to have a singles match with 2 out of the 3 people, which is pointless. And it's just going to be Becky. She's going to win this one, and I hope she would go on to feud against somebody else. But the last thing I'm going to say about this is WWE finally figured out that no one was liking this Raven chick because they took the title of her. They had to bring back Becky to boost her up. She didn't even do a actual match for the U.S. title. What did she have again? Whatever at WrestleMania, and they made it a tag match. So Becky, as much as I don't like her, she sells merch. She sells seats. Contrary to my belief, that's happened. Raven chick, not so much. Bayley also sells merch, sells seats. So It's going to be down, and I hope that Lyra, I think her name is the one that eats the pin, but I wouldn't be surprised if Bayley eats the pin, unfortunately.
All right, thank you for that. And we'll move on to our 2 championship matches now for the world titles. First up, we got Tiffany Stratton versus the legend WWE Hall of Famer Trish Stratus, a throwback to the Attitude Era. We've seen her make some appearances here and there over the past several years. She wrestled at SummerSlam in 19, I should say. I was at that show in Toronto, and she was at Elimination Chamber earlier this year. I believe she was at the first Evolution, right? She teamed with Lita. Am I correct?
Correct. Against I can't remember now.
Was it the Bellas they teamed them against?
No, Nikki was in the main event of.
Nikki was in the main event with Ronda.
Oh yeah, that. Oh god, I forgot about that.
It was. I thought it was like against Mandy Rose and somebody because Alexa Bliss couldn't wrestle.
Wasn't it Sonya and Mandy?
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah,
I knew it was like Sonya and somebody else.
I'm curious now. Go on, Aaron. I'm gonna look that up. I'm curious now.
It was Mickie James and Alicia Fox.
There you go.
I can't believe that.
All right. So we know that Tiffany is the full-timer. Trish is a part-timer. Does anybody think Trish could actually walk out as champion and pull off a big shocker? I'd be shocked if anybody picks Trish. I'm going with Tiffany.
I'm going with Tiffy time.
All right. Big G, anything you want to say about the match?
I mean, it should be a fun match. I mean, Trish still has it. She can still go in the ring. Yeah, but I think we're all in agreement here. It's Tiffy time still, unfortunately.
All right, Matthew, Tiffy time?
It's Tiffy time, but I think this will be a lot better match than the Charlotte-Tiffany match because Tiffany needs that big pay-per-view highlight win. But yeah, it's Tiffy time, but it should be a great match.
Oofman, Tiffy time?
Yeah, 25 years ago, Oof was basically a palace for Trish Stratus on his wall. I had every poster of her. And like you said, Aaron, she still can go and all that. But as much as I adore Trish, she's one of my all-time favorites. Yeah, Tiffy's retaining. This we're talking about earlier, the buildup of Evolution. I spoke earlier how I feel like the women are pawns to AEW's WWE's bitterness to AEW. This match was just poof. Oh, Trish and Tiffy. Oh, okay. So, yeah, Tiffy retains.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just designed to put over Tiffany, give her a big win, beating the veteran, and Trish gets a spot on Evolution. Somebody's like, what did Trish do? Well, she's Trish. She's arguably the greatest female star in WWE history. Sometimes you put the big star on the main event of the fight card, even though they haven't won any fights in a long time. They're the legend, so you put them on because they're going to sell the show. That's why Trish Stratus is there. Exactly. It's all about the money. All right, this guy, what do you think? Tiffy time?
No, of course it's Trish. Let me. I'm sorry. Of course, unfortunately. Wait, wasn't Trish a heel the last time she was wrestling?
A couple years ago, she was.
A couple years ago, but she's at babyface again.
Oh, I hate that. And yeah, Tiffy time. Unfortunately, I was a decent fan of Tiffy a couple years ago, but she soured on me like hard. Yeah, I don't care for her anymore.
So it's Tiffy time, but in your household, not really.
No, me personally, I don't like. My wife still likes her. I don't.
Oh, okay. So just you.
Yeah.
All right. So Tiffany's your pick then, though. All right, there you have it. Greg, we'll throw it over to you now.
Greg's over there falling asleep.
It's, I'm okay. I'm holding it. No, yeah, it's going to be Tiffy time. It's obviously the two TSs against each other. I didn't realize how close some of their names kind of are together. You've got Stratton versus Stratus. I don't know how they thought of that, but anyway. But yeah, so it's going to be Tiffy time. Puts another notch on the belt of another good win to keep Stratton going. She was amazing in NXT, so I'm glad she's getting this like big sort of match on Evolution. So very athletic and everything. But yeah, she needs to keep this going. If she has this win, she needs to keep the feuds going in terms of, I don't know, not having screwy finishes and having some good matches going forward. So hopefully after this, she has a big SummerSlam match, obviously against Jade. But I guess sadly that's when the title might be going. But yeah, she'll win this, and hopefully Trish can give her another good match to put on her belt.
All right. I think it'll be a good match. I'm not really expecting it to be a classic or anything, but I think it'll be solid. Now, one match that I do think could be an all-time classic is our main event. We got Io Sky defending the Women's World Championship against Rhea Ripley. Rhea Ripley, arguably the biggest star in WWE's women's division, one of the top stars in the company. Io's one of the best wrestlers, but I would say that she's not at the star level of Rhea Ripley. Few are. Rhea Ripley really is in a class of her own. There are some critics of Rhea Ripley now, and people are afraid that, Rhea is just going to get the title. She's the Triple H favorite. She's being shoved down everybody's throats, the usual. Big G's got that going, and I tend to agree with Big G. Like, I think the champion should be your biggest star, and that's Rhea Ripley. I know people like Io Sky, and she had her little run, but they haven't even really done much with her as champion. I feel like she's kind of been an afterthought in the storylines on Monday Night Raw, despite being champion. I say Rhea Ripley wins it going into SummerSlam. I hate to say it for Io, but hey, she got the title. She had a win at WrestleMania, so she did something. But yeah, I think Rhea Ripley gets it back. This guy, I'm going to go over to you on this one with your thoughts on this main event. Go ahead.
I put in the chat of the previous female world title. Obviously, this is going to go on last. Do you guys think that the two T's or TTSs, whatever, is going to open up the card? Because having that like so close to the main event would kind of kill it for people. I just want to put that out there.
Well,
no, either the tag match or the battle royal will start the show.
The battle royal probably.
See, I was thinking the IC might open it up.
Oh,
sometimes they like to do the IC title match in the beginning. I think I like that triple threat they did at WrestleMania years back with AJ and Balor.
Yeah.
Who was the third guy in that one? Miz.
It was Miz, Balor, and Rollins.
Oh,
17 started with
that's
IC too.
Yeah, that was a good match. All right, well, getting to why you picked me in the first place. Well, I mean, it's obvious. Rhea's going to win. Like you guys said, she's an afterthought. I like Io, but obviously the way Michael Cole and other commentators are like keep commenting on their rivalry. Oh, Io's always beat Rhea. So obviously now, and then obviously what happened right before WrestleMania this year. So it's going to be time for Rhea to finally get her win over over Io, and ultimately Io has just become a Bobby Lashley of the women's division, being a world champion that no one really that WWE doesn't really care about, unfortunately. Twice. For like when he was ECW champion and then when he was WWE champion before he had left. That's pretty much how they're treating Io, secondary, if not third tier world champion. So Rhea, you go. I like Rhea still, but again, it doesn't like hold well for Io. Ultimately, she's going to go way down the card after this match.
Interesting take there on Io. Big G, I'll go over to you. What are your thoughts on this main event?
My shirt says it all. Mommy is always on top.
All right. He short and sweet there from Big G. Greg, we'll go to you next. Go ahead.
Yeah, this is obviously a should main event. This is it's one of the top matches you can have in the business right now. Yeah, it's that triple threat at WrestleMania was amazing. I'm very glad that I got the prediction right of Io Sky. I feel like everyone predicted against her, but I'm very glad that I got that right. But I think we're going to have a new champion here. Unfortunately, Io's title reign has been a bit lackluster, which obviously isn't really her fault, but she's just not really been around to defend it. Like, I didn't realize for a while she hadn't defended it for like a very long time. But she only defended it like once or something, or twice since Mania. Like that's yeah, that's crazy. But so there's no appetite in creative to put her on shows or for a defense. I don't know, but they're like let's strike with Rhea again, give her the title, and maybe they'll do the rematch at SummerSlam because maybe Io will push her close or something. I'm not too sure because I don't know where they're going to go with this. because this could be a really good SummerSlam match as well. So, but yeah, they've put this as the marquee match on Evolution because these two are two of the top women's wrestlers right now. So, it should be an amazing match. Should be really close. Could be a match of the year contender. But yeah, Rhea will be winning the title, I think, and obviously, as someone said in the chat, I think Michael will be beating Io for the first time.
All right, thank you for that, Greg. Matthew, we'll throw it over to you next. Go ahead.
Well, you guys know I'm a big EO fan, and I wish this match had a better build. They deserve it. I mean, everybody's pointed out EO Bayley has even defended the title since winning at Mania, and that's a big insult to both her and Rhea. You know, we know what the story is with this match. It deserves a better build. It deserves, you know, more of a highlight. It's hard to see Rhea not finally getting her win back or getting that win against the one person that she's never beaten, which is Io Sky. That being said, there's a lot of matches we could see no matter who wins, because you have most likely, I'm thinking, it's Clash of Paris that's going to be either it's going to be Stephanie versus Rhea or Stephanie versus Io. Either one of those is a main event match. I just hope, like I've said, they've teased, even without the title, they've teased something with Asuka and Io, and they deserve a match on a pay-per-view. They've only had one match in the WWE, and it was on SmackDown, and I think it ended in a DQ. There's a SummerSlam match right there. So win or lose, I hope that somehow builds up. I just, I wish Io had a better title reign because she is one of the best in-ring wrestlers in not just in the WWE, in the world. But Rhea's star power is undeniable.
Yeah.
Rhea gets her win, and this is probably going to be the best women's match of the weekend.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I know you're not the biggest Mercedes fan, but I think it's going to be a close one with those matches.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, geez. I'm sorry Britt Baker's not in the match, Big G. All right, Oofman, we'll throw it over to you now, and then we'll close out this live stream. Go ahead.
Yeah, after that awesome triple threat at WrestleMania, I was really happy for Io. She was my pick then. And then, poof, what happened? She disappeared. She was the champion. Then she shows up in backstage interviews. Okay, cool. I wasn't happy with what happened to her after Mania, but we can't deny Rhea's star power. Mommy is on top, as Big Baller G would agree. And she's on fire right now as far as popularity. She is the top female. And so, like you said, Aaron, the most popular should be the champion, male, female, tag, whatever it is. So my pick is Rhea does beat Io. However, I won't be upset if out of nowhere Io wins. If she retains, cool, even better. But it's just, I think Rhea will take it. And like Matthew said, maybe they're at the SummerSlam or Paris, we get the rematch, because I think these two women are they do deserve to be the main event. I think they're going to kill it. And I agree, Aaron. Yeah, my money is on Mercedes and Timeless Toni Storm to be the women's match of the weekend. This one might be a hair right behind them because they're going to be the main event. Then, like I said earlier, I just feel that the women were pawns to WWE's bitterness and pettiness towards AEW. I think this is going to light a fire with Rhea and Io and they're going to talk and be like, let's just go out there, let's burn the place down. And they will be the second best women's match of the weekend, the best of Sunday. I believe both ladies can pull it off. But Rhea, new champion. But again, if Io retains, even cool too.
All right. Thank you for that. I appreciate it. And on that note, we will go ahead and wrap this up. Great stream tonight, everybody. Went an hour and a half here. So, a lot to discuss. We got a busy weekend. Make sure you guys stay tuned to NoDQ.com for all the latest. We'll go ahead and do our plugs. Oof, I'm going to go right back to you on this one and get your shout out, your plug, whatever you got for us. So go ahead.
Well, again, thank you, gentlemen, so much for having me on this night. So please check out my channel, my series, Gabbing with Oof. Like I said, the Ocho, I hit 8 videos now, and I hit 100 subscribers. So thank you to all who subscribe. My latest video, like I said earlier, it mentions this weekend. And again, I'm focusing on this should have been the weekend of AEW. And I think it's truly unfair that the women, they deserve, like we mentioned earlier, they truly deserve their own weekend like they did 7 years ago for Evolution. It should have just been them on a Saturday or a Sunday. But unfortunately, Stanford has something against Jacksonville, and they just couldn't let Jacksonville have their fun this weekend. And again, I'm pulling for the women. I said a couple seconds ago, Io and Rhea I believe will bring it. But I just hope Monday or this upcoming week, wrestling sites aren't reporting that management is upset with the women and all that. And if that happens, I'm gonna be PO'd, because the women don't deserve this. They deserve their own spotlight, their time to shine. But again, just after talking with you awesome gentlemen, it should be hopefully a good show. And I do believe Io and Rhea will bring it. So check out my channel, all my videos that are on there. And again, thank you guys so much for having me.
City by the Bay, I did my all-in predictions with the Dynamite recap, so check that out. That was up on Wednesday night. If anybody wants my thoughts on All In, I did the predictions there. This guy will go over to you next. Thanks for being on.
Oh, thank you, Aaron, for having me on as usual. Yep. I guess I'm not really a social media guy, but this is my wife's crochet corner. This is where she gets to do all her work. She's ready for the fall, winter time. She's making some hats right now. She's made some cacti, whatever, for the summer. But yeah, next is hats and gloves. So follow her on Instagram and Facebook. I think it's the same on Facebook to get something made for this cold fall/winter. And yeah, that's pretty much it. And my clone right here.
Oh. Hello. All right, Greg, I'll throw it over to you now. Anything you would like to plug or promote?
I don't have much to promote. Just say thanks for having me again. It's great to see all you guys and be on a panel after God knows how long. I'd like to be consistent again. Unfortunately, with work, it doesn't always work out because obviously I'm off this week, which has helped. But I'm back to work next week. But if it's possible, I'd love to be on for the SummerSlam predictions. If there's a chance, I know we've got quite a few nights of it, and
Right,
obviously.
well, since it's 2 nights, I'll likely do separate nights for each night of SummerSlam. So one will be on a Sunday and then one will be on a Thursday or whatever. I'll have to look at the schedule. But yeah, I mean, we'll make it so like we have different panels for each show. So I'll definitely reach out and we'll try to get you on for one of the SummerSlam shows.
Sure, that should be good because I think this SummerSlam has a chance now with these 2 nights and some potential matches to be quite a really good pay-per-view. PLE, sorry. So yeah,
excited
again,
for Jelly Roll?
Oh, thing is, he's not big over here, so it doesn't really mean anything. So like, I don't know if he's well liked in America or not.
Not, I mean, I've never heard of him. I never heard
popular.
of him besides WWE.
Funny you should say that, Aaron. I have friends in the Midwest who are big into him. He's big in the Midwest. So
what music does he?
I like Jelly Roll. I listen to his music.
He's country rap, right? Almost.
Kind of,
Oh,
yeah.
so he's like that guy from back in the day, from like 20 plus years ago. What was his name? He did some like funky songs back in the day. But yeah, no, it's like that's what I'm a bit baffled with at the minute. Some of these celeb type people they're bringing in, and obviously because they're like got like if he faces like a Logan Paul or someone and he gets beaten up by Logan, I'm down for that. Like if he gets like beaten up by another celebrity or like I don't know, or obviously I don't want him anywhere near like Gunther or anything like that. But if he gets choked out by someone, or I'm down for celebrities coming in. Like one of my favorite moments ever is when like Machine Gun Kelly got like power bombed off the stage by Kevin Owens. I think it was Kevin Owens, right?
Yeah.
Sounds
like that
right.
was because Machine Gun Kelly was the same at the time. I'm not a fan of his, so I was like, when he chucked him off the stage, I was like, oh, good man. But that's all I want to see. If celebrities come in and they get beaten up and they're not good, unless you're like a Bad Bunny or Logan who can actually do well and prove people wrong. I like seeing the celebrities beaten up, so I think it's hilarious. But yeah, so I don't know. I don't know him, so it doesn't really affect me. But I don't get all these people that are coming in, having like 5 minutes while there's people that are not getting on the show. We've got a lot of talent on both of these on this roster. So yeah, exactly. This guy. Yeah, the money.
They're in Nashville on tomorrow. That's why.
Oh, so he's gonna. Oh yeah, because he's advertised for the show, isn't he? Yeah. So
Yeah.
there you go. So I don't know. So do they know who he's gonna be? What he's gonna be doing at SummerSlam? Is he like actually?
Having a
He might be.
He's
tagging
training
with
for a
somebody.
match.
Yeah. He's tagging
Right.
with somebody. It
Oh
might be
boy.
him.
Well,
It's probably gonna.
Okay.
I heard. I don't know how true this is, but it could be. From what I heard through the grapevine, it could be him and Cody versus Cena and Travis Scott on night one.
No, I don't think that's
Oh,
because Cena's
Nah.
doing a title match.
I am thankful
I
I'm
don't
not going to the
I
SummerSlam.
don't know.
I think
It
it's
could
more
be-
likely to be like Jelly Roll and LA Knight versus The Miz,
could
Carmelo
be.
Hayes, something like
Could
that.
be something like that. Yeah.
Man, yeah, keep him in some sort of mid card, even to early of the show. I don't want him anywhere near the main event team. We already had that with old Fiend guy. Maybe Travis Scott will be at SummerSlam and they'll do like an Anarchy match and they'll play his music.
No,
during the match.
no, please don't mention Travis Scott again. But see, the thing is, I think it's going to be that tag match because The Miz always does these types of matches, right? Like these celebrity tag matches.
Yeah.
They got Carmelo Hayes who could take all the bumps and make Jelly Roll look good. Then you got LA Knight who will make sure that Jelly Roll doesn't get booed because the fans would cheer LA Knight's tag team. So I that's my prediction right now. Like it's going to be something like that for SummerSlam.
Probably, yeah. Unless like Pat McAfee comes back and he's suddenly like wants to face him. No, listen, I don't want to see that neither. But like, if it means like one of them two gets beaten up, then cool, it's hilarious. So, as I said, as long as we get a laugh out of it, I'm fine. But keep the comedy or the celebrity type action away from the big matches and the main events, and hopefully for the likes of Cena, Rollins, Reigns, Cody's and all that, keep the comedy stuff away from them guys. That needs to be especially SummerSlam. Don't mess about with it. Like this is a big show, so hopefully they keep all the comedy on one show and we do all the big stuff on on the other. But yeah, again, thanks for having me, and hopefully I see you back at SummerSlam predictions, and I'll keep watching the shows as I love them. Love you guys, and enjoy this weekend. It's going to be hopefully amazing. There'll be at least one or two outstanding of the year matches, even on the other show that Big G doesn't like, the other wrestling show. But yeah, I'm sure there'll be some good matches on that too. So guys, just enjoy it, and I'll see you guys soon.
Thank
And
you.
come back to Jersey.
Yeah, I would love to be there. I'm going to see how financially I'm going to see how I look next year, and if I can, I'd like to attend somewhere in the World Cup. So it depends on the money. If the prices are crazy stupid, then I'll have to go like Mexico and watch like I don't know, Panama versus like I don't know, like Nigeria or something. I don't know. I'll have to watch some like really rubbish match, but I will hopefully I can get to a decent one. I'd love to. I haven't been to America in like 5 or 6 years now, so and I've been to New York a few times, so I do love it. So hopefully, maybe next year we'll see. But I'll let you guys know if I do, and maybe. Well, do you think they'll keep doing SummerSlam in like big places, or Jersey
Well, I
will
think
keep having?
I think they're doing Minneapolis
next
right?
year. Yeah.
Yeah, next
Oh
year.
yeah,
Next year. Oh, finally.
Next year.
Yeah, I'm still a bit bummed that Saudi has the Rumble because it's one of my favorite pay-per-views. I'm a bit worried it might damage the product. So
You should go.
I'm a bit. Yeah, man, I'd love to go over there. Yeah, why not? Like,
You're
spend all my money.
closer geographically than the rest of us.
I know, but I don't know. If I'm going to spend money to go anywhere, it's going to be like America or like one of the other countries to appreciate I don't know. Saudi can have their shows, but I'm not. They've gotten better, the shows, but Rumble's a big step up, man. That's like, I don't know. They need to not mess this up because if some of the if the American fans are struggling to find out who's coming out next in the Rumble because of not knowing what the music is, how do you think the Saudi lot are going to do? So it could be a disaster. Like they might not react to any music. Like they might not react to anything.
Yeah, but
so.
they've been good crowds, I think.
Yeah, they've gotten better. I agree. They've got completely better, but the Rumble's a different stage. Like, so hopefully, the only thing is, if Rumble goes well, you know what's going to come next. You know what they're going to think of doing next. A certain WrestleMania, and if Saudi gets that before England,
it's going to happen. Unfortunately,
that's a crime.
I think they're going to get it.
Greg's gonna be pissed if they go to Saudi first.
Yeah, London should.
Greg is going to burn London down. So
I know, but it's because they can't have WrestleMania not in London in like April, because it's like if they had it now, obviously it'd be lovely because the weather's crazy hot. That's why AEW come in the summer. But like having WrestleMania around April time, there's probably an 80-20 chance it's gonna rain. So like you'd have to have like. What Mania was it when it rained for like the first hour? Was it like
2020? I think.
No, that was during the pandemic. That was
pandemic
2022.
36.
That's my fear. That's my fear of what would happen if they did WrestleMania here. So like, I don't know. That's why they'll always stick to having like SummerSlam here, which I still think why haven't they done it yet to try and cover AEW doing All In? Was it like a couple of years ago now? Or even last year, the year before.
But doesn't the new Wembley have a half a dome? Or
have a
full
what?
dome or no dome? Does the new Wembley Stadium have a dome?
Yeah, no roof. No, it does not have a roof.
Oh,
no. So
I thought it did.
That's the thing. It doesn't have a roof, so that's what they're missing out on. But obviously, that's why for the Clash in September they went to Cardiff, because Cardiff has the massive where Oasis just played. By the way, they have a massive roof, so
that's right.
That's why Wembley's probably been a real struggle for it to happen, because they've got no roof, so they'd have to do like a massive canopy, and I don't think that looks too nice for WrestleMania sometimes, So that's why it's going to be a struggle, I think, to ever have WrestleMania, especially unless they start saying let's move WrestleMania to like June, July, to accommodate all these other countries, which I don't think they should do. So I don't know, it's going to be tricky, but that's why we may never ever get one unless they can think of They can't have it in places like O2 or other places. It's too small. So, and I don't want them to take WrestleMania to Cardiff, because I don't know. That's not fair. I think London deserves it. They should have it there. But there's no actual massive stadiums with roofs here. So it's not really possible, unfortunately. So there you go.
Well, I still think they'll get it eventually. It's just a matter of time. We'll see.
Yeah.
John Cena promised you guys, I think, right?
He did.
Yeah. Just every show, every year, be like, man, we're gonna get a WrestleMania, and he says it on the next show in the next town. We're like, yeah, thanks, John.
That first promo as a heel, Cena should have come out and be like, "Oh, I was joking about London getting a Mania." That would have been awesome.
He should have been like, "Hey, guess what? No one's getting a WrestleMania. It's going Saudi." It would have been boo. But so I don't know. He should come out with more heel stuff. He'd have like, "No, I should deserve WrestleMania. You suck."
Here's some trivia for you. If I was to go to London for WrestleMania or something, what's the number one tourist attraction you think I would want to go to?
You personally?
Me personally.
Abbey Road.
Yeah, you got it.
Where?
He knows me.
I know you're a Beatles guy.
Abbey Road, yes. That's
I'd have
number
to do
one.
the picture with the street, of course.
I've never done that. But obviously, I've been to Liverpool and been to the Cavern, and I've done all the Beatles tour in Liverpool. So, have you been to Liverpool, Aaron?
I haven't been outside of North America.
Oh, yeah. If you go to Liverpool,
you're not getting any younger.
I know, right?
Wow. Okay. But harsh, but...
The question is, Aaron, the question is, Aaron, on Abbey Road, do you do the photo with or without shoes on?
Oh yeah.
Ooh.
Well, have to see what kind of a day it is, depending on.
Will he be wearing anything at all? That's the big question. There you go.
Yeah, got to come up with something unique for the photo, because everybody's got their own little version of it. Got to put my own spin on it. I'd have to have a no DQ shirt on for sure. I guess Melanie C from the Spice Girls is from Liverpool too.
Yes, she is. Yes, still going strong. She's still looking good. So yeah,
she was my favorite Spice Girl growing up. She was.
You won points with Caitlin then, because she loves Melanie C.
Isn't she like pulling almost 60 years old? Right? She's up there, right?
Ask Caitlin. Caitlin would.
They all are.
Caitlin.
They all are. Yeah. They're in their 50s.
I think Ginger's the oldest. That's my girl. That's my Spice Girl, Ginger.
We somehow got off track talking about WrestleMania and Spice Girls. How did this happen? All right, Matthew, we'll go ahead with your plug.
We're live, pal.
The people that stuck around, like some people will turn off for the plugs.
In their
They got
50s. That's what I figured.
That's why you got to stay to
There
the
you go.
very end, because we might go on some kind of a
We're
random
like Marvel
discussion.
movies. You got to stay till the end credits.
Exactly. The
Something
best
will pop
parts
up.
are sometimes like the last minute of the stream. Go ahead, Matthew.
Right.
Exactly, yeah.
Don't really have anything to plug. Thank you for letting me be a part of the panel. I always enjoy the community. Check out nodq.com. Buy a shirt.
Buy a shirt. Get it 4
Buy
to
a
6
shirt.
weeks later.
Yeah, but support Aaron, support Big G, support Oofman, support this guy. Check out Noah and JJ and all the other guys that are part of the overall No DQ family, as I call it. And look forward to this weekend. It's gonna be a long weekend, like you said. I don't know when I'm even having dinner on Saturday.
I know.
And I have to run in.
Cat cameo. Yeah. There we go.
Eat dinner during the show. That's what makes sense.
Yep, that's what I usually do.
One of them.
Well, I mean, it's having time to make dinner so that I can, in between the shows or order something. But I'm trying to hold back. I just had pizza last week. I don't want to go get pizza again this week. But yeah, it's going to be a long, crazy weekend, and whether you are an AEW fan or a WWE fan, there's something for everybody this weekend. Again,
yeah,
it should be spread out. I'm tired of the pay-per-views every 2 weeks from WWE.
Yeah.
It's too much, but there's something for everybody this weekend, and everybody just enjoy. And we're gonna have our opinions, we're gonna have our thoughts. But, just enjoy and, try to be respectful to that.
All right. Caitlin's ready for a snack, so we got to wrap this one up here. Big G, we'll throw it over to you. And let me pull up the graphics, because I know you always say make sure you got it. So here we go. Go ahead.
So YouTube, it has changed. It is now Big Baller G on YouTube. I'm doing a lot more live stream of 2K25, WWE 2K25. I posted on there Hulk Hogan versus Hulk Hogan for the No DQ Championship. X No DQ _ Big Baller G, Big Baller G 1988, and then on Instagram No DQ _ Big Baller G. Yes, my wife, her 2 children's books, The Fox and the Poppy and Harmony Under the Sea, are both on Amazon. But if you want a bundle, 2 for $25, just message me and we can get that settled for you.
All right, sounds good. Thank you, Big G. Thank you, guys. This was a great stream tonight. Awesome stream with everybody. Great discussion. We got a busy weekend, so thank you all for your continued support, and just spread the word, and stay tuned for the latest news and rumors. And Saturday is going to be crazy. 2 streams in one day for me, and a lot of wrestling to cover. Then we got Sunday. One of the busiest ones of the year. Stay tuned for all the latest. And on that note, we will sign off. Say yes to No DQ, and we will see you all next time.
Peace.
No.
Pre-mode.
Buy a shirt.
Love it.